Pre-pro dancers in training, this video is for you. It is audition season here in the dance world. I've jam-packed everything you need to know, and I'm going to be bringing you all my tips and advice of what to do and not do in your auditions for your schools and colleges this season, what to wear, what to bring, CVs, video auditions, because that's becoming a really big thing now, hair and makeup, what directors and schools are actually looking for in the audition process, my perspective as a dancer that's done many auditions in her time, as well as someone that now sits on the other side of the table helping run these auditions and the classes, and what we look out for in schools and colleges. Welcome to my channel with me, Gwendolyn. Thank you for being here with me today. I am a professional ballet and contemporary dancer, ballet teacher, coach and choreographer. Grab a pen and paper, make a cup of tea, and let's dive straight in. Tip number one, do your research. Look into all the schools and colleges that you're interested in going to and ones that you're maybe on the fence about. I cannot stress enough, please apply to all of them. Don't just see your one that you really want. Maybe it's Erdang, Italia Conti, and you just think, all I want to do is get into that one school. But research into all of them. A lot of the time I have a few students that I coach, they go to an audition and it's different to what they expected, and that can be a negative or a positive thing. So you've made your list of where you want to apply to. Now do further research into those schools and colleges. Go on their website, go on their social media, look at their alumni. What are the success rates in terms of what are people going into? What jobs are dancers moving into? Is it really heavy musical theatre? Is it more ballet and contemporary classical training? Find these things out so you can come prepared and know what to expect from the school and what they expect probably of you. Be prepared. Tip number two, get in early. Spaces start to fill up really quickly and schools and colleges have limited numbers that they can take. Make sure the minute audition season starts, you start applying. However, you need to make sure you're ready. So if you can benefit from a few extra weeks practicing your solo, most schools will want to see a dance solo, and if you're obviously going down the musical theatre route, a singing solo as well. Practice things you're struggling with. Don't assume certain elements aren't going to turn up in an audition. So if turns isn't your thing at the minute and you're struggling to get a nice clean single in, or you notice that your supporting leg is always a little bit weaker, focus on those things now so you are prepared for your audition. Delay slightly, but don't be waiting right till the end of March, really late, April sometimes. Get in the first few rounds of auditions. Spaces fill up. Make sure you have one of those spaces. Tip number three, which is really important, video auditions. This is becoming a bigger and bigger thing. Companies as well as professional dancers, a lot of companies will want video auditions first, or at least for the first round, to help them select who they want to bring into the studio space. We could do a whole video on this in itself. Let me know if you'd like that. But the main tips you need to think about: clear space, make sure there's not clutter behind you, they just want to see you, make sure it's lit well, you can just film it on your phone, you don't need a fancy camera setup. Find the most flattering angle. Generally, as a rule of thumb, I say place your camera at belly button height and then stand back obviously so you're fully in shot. If you've got to do bar work, which most places do, don't be completely front on. And don't be completely to the side. If you're front on, they can miss things like your cambray, your pourment, little elements like that. If you're flat onto the side, that is very unforgiving. Don't show that. Even with a completely flat turnout, that is a hard one to pull off. Read through your school's instructions properly. What have they asked for in this audition tape? Have they given specific instructions? Follow them. Don't just wing it and do something that you think they want. Take your time and follow them to a T. Don't ad-lib off it. Do exactly what they've asked for. Don't forget to film your ident. Next audition tip, from someone that sits on the other side of the table looking at this and then trying to marry it up with the dancer in front of me, I cannot stress enough how your CV and headshot need to be clear and good. Don't lie in your CV. Keep it honest and true. If you've got all your exams, be it music and dance, things like that, put all of those on there, of course. And then please dancers, make your headshot clear. Make it a true representation of you and what you look like right now. The headshot on your CV for the audition process is purely to clearly identify you. Don't forget, we see so many dancers, hundreds. It's really hard to retain them no matter how gorgeous your dancing is. Don't send it in really glammed up and made up. Don't have stage makeup on. We just want to see what you look like, the best version of you, looking nice and clean. Make the background clear. I know a lot of the time in our headshots, and I understand why, we have the hair down to show what our hair's like. This is especially important for acting headshots. But when you're dancing, your hair is up. And when you don't know the person, seeing someone with their hair down that might have this gorgeous mane of hair and then suddenly it's slicked back into a bun and all we can see is their face and their body, it's sometimes really hard to put those two images together. So make sure your face looks like you, just a nice clean version of you. Of course, you can do some minimal makeup if that makes you feel good, not essential by any means, but don't look like you're going onto a stage. Tip number 5, and this is a huge one, be prepared with what you bring. This is what you need to bring to an audition. I'm talking equipment, clothing, food, extra bits. Know what dance classes you're going to be doing in your audition. Musical theatre, you are likely going to be doing ballet, jazz, maybe tap. Sometimes schools want to see tap, not usually. Have all your shoes with you. So bring your jazz shoes, bring your ballet flats. If you're doing a classical audition, bring your point shoes, girls. All these sorts of things, have them with you. Spare tights. Spare leotard just in case, because you just never know. Definitely spare tights. If you snag something, you want to be going in looking clean, not with ladders up your tights. Bring spare hair bands, hair grips, hairspray if you want, maybe some lip balm and some hand cream if you need it. Bring all these extra things. Your bag is going to be full to the brim of extra bits. You don't want to be caught short. Ladies, if you're on your period that week or that day when you're auditioning, bring extra things that you would usually use for that, just so you're prepared and covered. So make sure you've got high energy snacks because you're going to be doing so much. Some of these audition process, especially if you're not doing cuts, you're seen all day and you're doing multiple dance classes, you're doing singing, there's a lot you're doing. So you're going to need to be energized but not feel heavy and be putting all your energy into digesting. So have really easy snacks. Jelly babies are a great one for a quick burst of energy, but carrots and hummus, dates, yogurt, anything that's not going to be heavy in your stomachs, but it's going to give you some fats and some energy and some sugar for the day ahead. Obviously water, add a pinch of salt to that water for some electrolytes. Trust me, it gets rid of cramp, keeps you hydrated. Headphones, you might get an opportunity to go over your song or your solo. Have an effective warm-up routine. Take equipment with you like a spiky massage ball or your roller or a foot roller. Prep your muscles, be ready, take a resistance band, tie it around your knees, do some pliés with it, do a little bit of stretching, nothing too crazy unless you're warm. Do some développé and some leg extension with the band, get those muscles activated and ready, yeah? Rollering and massage, I cannot stress that enough. I talk about it all the time, everywhere. I tell my students about it all the time. Do a quick 5-minute muscle prep. I've got one here, you can follow that along. I've got two, got a long one and a short one. Do those, prep your muscles, get them ready to dance. Don't just throw yourself in, because when you enter that studio, they're not there to warm you up and prep you, they're there to see certain things. So be ready to go straight away. Continuing with your preparation, block off that whole day. Don't be doing 2 auditions on a day. I know some people try and do this. Please don't do that. Especially if it's a day that's doing cuts. You may not be cut. You may be there from 8 a.m. till 5 p.m. So block off that day. Don't do anything else. Just dedicate it mentally and physically to that one audition and put all your energy and focus on that audition. Be prepared for traffic. Travel time, how long is it going to take you? Plan that route in advance. Don't just wing it on the day. Allow time for when you're arriving to find the entrance and find registration. Make sure you're arriving early or planning to arrive early, just in case. Tip number 6, really big one, presentation of yourself. And that's both physically and how you are in the space. I'm going to dive into this. This is like a job interview. You'd turn up looking good for a job interview, well presented, clean, tidy. It's the same thing for an audition. Nice hair, clean, slicked off your face. Don't be having hair hanging down by your face. That's so distracting for the people auditioning you and for you. If you're having to, you're trying to turn and you're getting fringe out your face, it's just annoying. Just get that hair off your face. And then going off that, make sure you have appropriate hair for the dance class. If you have a ballet class, that hair should be in a bun, elegant French twist. What to wear? Some schools have a dress code that will typically be all black, leotard, pink tights, guys, white top, black tights and shorts, depending. If you have uniform choice of what to wear in your audition, go for something clean and simple with a nice colour. Don't be wearing huge bold patterns with all this paneling down. It's very, very distracting. Just wear something that's flattering to your body type and that you feel comfortable in. Don't go down the route of thinking, oh, I'm going to wear a bright red leotard because red really stands out. If that doesn't suit you, if that's not your colouring, if that's not flattering, don't wear it. Don't wear something for the sake of it, thinking it will help you stand out. Don't try and be overly bold in what you wear. Keep it simple and plain, clean, nice tights. Don't worry about shoes. Don't be buying new shoes for auditions, just wear what you've got. From the perspective of being on the other side of the table, after a while, you see so many students, you do all start to blend as one. Yeah, like an hour and a half is quite a long time, and you're repeating that class multiple times throughout a day. All brunettes look the same, all blondes look the same. So sometimes wearing something that's just got that little memorable moment, like, oh, I really liked that girl in the second group with the blue band around her, or I really liked her where she had like a little red clip in by her ballet bun. Like, these little things help you stand out without being overly distracting. Continuing from that, you need to be wearing the right thing for the right class. So ballet class, leotard and tights. For jazz, put on leggings over the top so you can be in leotard and leggings. Jazz shoes. Keep it appropriate, and it shows that you also understand the etiquette of that lesson, which is really important. It's not just the physical, it's how you are as a person in the space. What can often happen in schools and colleges is you will have the older students that are already there, second and third years, actually helping run the audition day. They'll be collecting people from check-in, signing them in. Normally they're assigned a group and they're helping take you to all the various studios throughout the day, answer questions for you. So treat everyone with the utmost respect and politeness. All staff, students, and that also includes the other people auditioning with you. You don't know who you're going to end up with at schools and colleges, who you're going to be friends with, who's going to end up having a very successful career and you might meet again in a few years. Treat everyone with respect. It shows that you're professional. It shows that you're a nice person to work with. We are observant of you in the corridors. It's not just in the studio. So make sure you are polite and generous to everyone around you. Also be spatially aware. It's amazing to me how many dancers sometimes aren't aware of their surrounding environment when they're actually in the studio dancing. Make sure, I know we want to be seen in auditions, you will be seen. I know we want to try and get to the front. I mean, a lot of the time in auditions, they'll put you in lines or small groups and then stagger those lines and give each line a chance to go through a phrase or an enchaînement. So don't worry, you are going to be seen. And if you're at the back, you can still be seen. So don't think, one, you can either get away with something and hide, but also don't panic that you're not going to be, given a chance. Don't try and force yourself to the front. Don't cut someone up. Don't be unaware that maybe on a traveling phrase you're coming across the person in front of you, yeah? Look like you know what you're doing. I mean, you should be able to do that as dancers, but show that you have understanding of spatial awareness. That's really important. Rant over about that. It's just one of my pet peeves. Just be aware of the space around you. Be confident. Be confident in the presentation of yourself. Start practicing that now in your studio classes where you're training. Walk in with confidence. I've got this. I can do it. I'm amazing. I'm going to do really well today. I'm a great dancer and performer. I'm going to show them that. Follow directions. Do the exercises the way they give them to you. Where's the arm placement? Are you doing a traveling pirouette? Do they want the arms up and fifth? Do they want you to bring them up and in to first? These little things. Don't do what your habit is. Don't do what you've done somewhere else. Do exactly what the teacher is telling you. Is the head meant to be here on this? Is the facing in your allegro sequence? Is it quasi? Are you meant to be en face? Does it change within the combination? Take note of these details because they're in there deliberately. If you're given a combination and you do it differently to what was asked, it just shows those watching you and the teacher that you're not really listening, you're not really paying attention. Remember, in an audition for pre-pro dances where you're going off to your higher education training, they're not looking for a finished product. We don't need the polished, perfect dancer ready to send out into the world to your jobs in the company. They are looking for dancers that have got something that they can train in their way. So you don't need to be perfect. You don't need to go in with 5 pirouettes and 32 fouettes. What they're looking for is someone with good manners, with energy, with artistry and presence, and really importantly, with people that can take direction, listen to a teacher, be able to apply that correction, because that's how you get trained. We don't want to have to tell you 8 times the same correction. So take it on board, apply it, and then just go for it the best you can. Mark on the side. This is an important one when you're in audition. You don't get many chances to do a phrase. Sometimes it's just once and you're like, right, seen that, great, next one. We have to go straight in to you've done it all down the one side, the right side usually, and then you have to go straight into the left. Mark on the side. When one group is performing, don't just be present and use it as an opportunity to get the combination in your body, yeah? Watch them, mark it small, don't go all full out because that's very distracting. But if we do notice for a second, at least we know that you're switched on and you're willing to learn and you're trying to learn. So mark on the side, take that few seconds as an opportunity to better process what's just been asked of you. And then another important thing is evaluate the space. So you walk into the studio, look at the size, look at the layout, where are the mirrors, where is the front setup? You're going to probably see the panel in front of you already. Take all of that in and then take that in when you do combinations. Everything's been designed perfectly for your audition by your teacher. If you've got a traveling sequence, you know, I've seen this in class generally, we've all done it as well sometimes, is you get towards the end of the combination and you're like, oh, I'm running out of space and I'm at the wall like this trying to do turns or jumps. When you're a professional, you're going to be in different theatres and performance spaces. Sometimes you've got this huge stage you've got to fill and that can be a challenge in itself. And other times you're working with tiny spaces and you've got to adapt that choreography or class to fit into that space. So don't be given a combination, go all out and then suddenly run out of room right in the last minute. Make sure you pace yourself because that shows that you're spatially aware. Again, like you were spatially aware with the people around you, you're spatially aware of combinations. Next audition tip, and this is a really important one and I really care about it from the perspective as a teacher. Definitely if you're going for company auditions, but we're not there yet. At the minute we're focusing on trying to get into our training schools, and that is be on the music. Your musicality. Can you count? Do you understand timing and rhythm? Are you being sensible with what you're trying to achieve in the counts or the phrase of the music? One of the most defining things that you can see between an amateur and a professional is musicality. If you are off the music, it is so distracting. It's so distracting to watch and it takes away from your dancing. Don't go for a triple pirouette if you can't land it on the count, yeah? Don't do a turn and then you're suddenly 3 counts behind and then you're rushing to catch up. You know, as a teacher, I want to see that you understand phrasing, timing, counting. I would much, honest answer, see a perfect single pirouette in an audition, landed perfectly, perfectly timed, happily going on to the next part of the exercise, and see someone trying to attempt 3, 4, 5 pirouettes and falling all over the place, landing out of time, not realizing. Understanding music and counts means you are trainable. Be on it from the very first exercise, the very first step when you enter this room. I'm going to use ballet class as an example because that's my speciality. So an audition class is planned very deliberately. They know exactly what combinations they're going to give and why and what steps they're going to include. They know what they want to put together to know what they want to look for from someone that's potentially going to come and join their school and then be trained for 3 years. Many auditions are decided in just a few combinations. You can tell straight away from the first plie and tendu if that person has the right technique or anatomy or understanding. And in bigger auditions, especially in companies, you have cut a good chunk of the dancers, a good third of the room after the first exercise, because you know. The use of their upper body, their shoulders, their head, how they use their arms, do they understand coordination? You can see all of that instantly. Be on it from the very first step. Don't wait until the center to shine. It doesn't matter if you're an amazing jump and you can't wait to show it off. You've got to get their attention on the first few exercises at the bar. Show that you understand how to bend your knees properly and stretch your feet in tendus if you're going to be showing me good jumps in the center. Now, yes, this is harsher for companies. Like I said, they make cuts much earlier. Normally for pre-pro training, you are there for the day and they're not normally making cuts. Video audition process can be that cut to see who they invite to audition. If you show your artistry straight away at the bar, you're in a much better position already. What to do and not do. I get some students ask me, should I go up and get, talk to the people that auditioned me? Do I ask for feedback? Like, I want to know how he did. This is your answer. I'm trying to sort of process what we just saw, that we haven't got the brain space to think about you as an individual right in that moment, especially if you're running auditions all day and you've got multiple classes, like 4 or 5 ballet classes that you're running, another teacher's doing, 70 solos. It's a lot in a day. What you don't do is go up and ask for feedback. No, don't do it. What you do instead is say thank you. Very simple, very effective. It shows politeness, it shows engagement, that you're a nice person. Thank everyone on the panel. Don't make it a big deal, just a quick polite thank you and smile. And then out you go. I actually do remember a student from an audition because they gave such a sincere, genuine thank you with a gorgeous smile on their face. And they also said they enjoyed it. Now, they might not have. They could have been lying through their teeth, because I appreciate audition classes are hard. But the fact that they chose to come up and say that kept them in my mind. And look, that was a while ago. That's still in my mind. So it puts a very positive light on that person. Is it going to make or break what the result's going to be? No, but it can help. But it can do a disservice if you come up and start asking questions. Don't risk annoying someone and then risk your chances. Do the class. Thank you very much. I really enjoyed that. Auditions, I understand, are nerve-wracking, but treat them like a masterclass. See them as an opportunity to be taught by a great teacher. See them as an opportunity to work in a different way than maybe you're used to, something fresh. If you treat them as a masterclass, you'll still get something out of it, even if it's not the result you want. Maybe you don't get the place, but every audition is a learning process. That's why I say again, circling back to one of our earlier tips, apply everywhere, go for as many auditions as possible. Don't just pick the one you want. Enjoy the day as well, and that will come across in your performance. I honestly wish you the best of luck this audition season. Go in with confidence, have fun, enjoy the experience, take something from it, and take all of this advice that I've given you today, apply it, and you will have a far greater chance and a much more enjoyable experience. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye.